Coach, I want to start out. I read a quote where you said you don't root against other teams, but I want to talk about the significance of getting to play the super regional here at Jackie Robinson, as opposed to getting on a plane and going to Austin.
Yeah, I think you earn everything you get at this level, and sometimes you're handed situations where you may feel a little more comfortable, or you may not feel comfortable, and it doesn't matter. In terms of any time, anywhere, it really is the mindset of our team, and I think you just don't know until a regional is over where you're going to go. So we didn't even know until Tuesday really where we're going to host. So it wasn't nothing. Everything's earned. And nothing's given to you, certainly out here on the West. You got to earn everything, and our players know that, and we feel fortunate to move on. We know UTSA is very good to go into Austin and really beat up a good Kansas State team, and then go on and beat Texas twice and not even lose a game is very impressive. So, the utmost respect for who we play. That really never has changed, so it's really on to the next round.
With that said, is there a distinct advantage, though, in getting this here?
It's hard to say. I mean, I think it's baseball. If you look at the history of the regionals and super regionals, I would say, percentages probably yes in some regard, but at the same time, look what happened. Look what happened. Just look what happened in college baseball this past weekend. I mean, a lot of home teams got beat. A lot of really, national seed type teams. So, I don't really put too much stock in where you play. It's about how you're playing, and it's about it's about you more than them a lot of times, and that's how we kind of look at it. Is how are we practicing, how are we preparing, how are we, what do we look like? And, that's never really going to change until the last out's made.
With what you just said, what do you like about the way you're playing right now? Because obviously the offense is just clicking right now.
I think, like you said, I think it's a very balanced offensive lineup, and the lineup has been stretched with Brennan being down and Balls being down there, and then you run into Duggar and Call, and they've done a good job, and so they've lengthened the lineup. I think any manager would tell you that when you talk about depth, and you talk about getting through 9 guys, it's a lot more difficult to get through 9 guys than 4 guys or 3 guys. So I think clearly our offense has been our strength of this season. I think our defense has been our strength of our season. I think we've played really good defense. I heard somebody say last night, I think at the Dodger game, turning double plays, leading the league in double plays is somewhat of a good or bad thing, and meaning that there's runners on base, and you're pitching out of problems a lot of times. But at the college level, the double play is a big momentum swing, and we have got out of innings with big double plays. Or we started an inning, runner on first, and a double play. And so, it is what it is. But I think overall, just our 9-on-1 concepts and our, ability to play catch has really, whenever you see a team fielding 980 or above in college, they're usually a, top 10 fielding team in the country. And it looks like, it feels like we are. So that part of it has been pretty good as well.
I know no coaches like to look ahead in any sport at any level. Yeah. But I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask you, what would it mean to you to get back to the College World Series? Not only for you, but for your crew.
Yeah, I think that's a fair question. I think anybody that's been there, it's a fair question that haven't been there in quite a while. It'd be special. It's special every time you go there. It's like the playoffs in Major League Baseball, the World Series, and then the NBA Finals, and NFL in the Super Bowl, and the division championships. I mean, those are special moments, and those are special times, and certainly it would be special to the program. I mean, I always think of the program. I think of the players and the players' families, and then of course the alumni, and I got a real nice text from Garrett Cole, right after the last pitch. So there's just a lot of people that are significantly important to the program that are always watching. And I think that's important to us and our players.
And my final question to you is, what are you hoping for, or what do you need from this atmosphere for the Super Regional
we need
this weekend?
atmosphere. You look across the country, and that's all you see is atmosphere in some of these spots. Tennessee and North Carolina, and there's so many hot spots right now that college baseball is flourishing. That really has taken off in so many ways, and I just love to see the people of the fans and the alumni of UCLA baseball to really come out in numbers this weekend and support this team. I think this team has deserved that sort of support. They've played very consistent throughout the season. We have 45 wins in a 56 game schedule, which is very difficult to do. Play 60 games, but I think at the same time we need everybody's help this weekend.
And then jumping in, obviously the headline is that UTSA took down Texas. What stood out to you in your scouting so far?
Just they're a really good baseball team. They seem to be very physical. They seem to be very mature in some ways. You can tell good, mature baseball players a lot of times, and how they're handling counts and how they're handling situations, and they're very well coached. I can tell that. Very, baseball feel to them. They do certain things in certain situations that tell you it's a baseball operation. So just a lot of respect for what they've done. And they've been good all year. You look at from the first series to the last series. I mean, to win 47 games, they've won a lot of series. I mean, they've swept series or 1, 2 out of 3 darn near to everybody. So they've been very good all season long. This is not for me, a surprise team. I know there's some people that picked them to come out of that regional. And some of the experts. So I don't think this is a team that unexpectedly has arrived here in the Super Regional. I think, if you're just a bystander and you don't follow college baseball, like, oh God, they beat Texas. Yeah, I mean, they beat them twice. They actually beat them 3 times. They beat them during the regular season as well. So just very, very much a lot of respect and admiration, and certainly we know that they're going to be a very, very good team.
And then on your side, do you have any idea what your pitching plan is going to be?
Right now we're still kind of analyzing that whole thing. We're really looking to see who we have, and we'll announce a starter here real soon. Have you announced a starter yet? Yeah. So we'll announce a starter. He's making a decision, by the way. No, I'm kidding. We'll make a decision here probably within the next 24 hours.
And then,
I mean, it threw us off a little bit playing Saturday, Sunday, Monday. We expected to go Friday with us ending on Sunday, but there's a lot of regionals that ended on Monday, so I guess it got turned over a little bit, and it is what it is. But we don't open up till Saturday.
And then we saw Moss make his first start this past weekend since May. Can you just talk about him? Is he fully healthy, or do you have a sort of a plan with him?
Yeah, I mean, he was really good for 3 innings. I thought, he's still coming back. He threw really good against Nebraska on Sunday in Omaha. That was kind of the kickstart of the whole thing. And then he threw really well against Irvine on Sunday. So he's back in the mix for sure.
Mm-hmm. And then can you just talk about how baseball or even just your managing style has changed since 2019 in general?
How it's changed?
Yeah.
Well, it really hasn't changed. I mean, it's pitching and defense, and we understand what it takes to get to Omaha. I just think offensively, this program has really gone to a different level. I mean, we're very, very good offensively in 19 and 20, and we won 40 games in 22. People sometimes make it sound like we've been bad for the last 10 years, and we really haven't. But it's the nature of the business. People have short memories, and that's okay. I mean, that's the price you pay, playing here, and that's fine because of expectations, and every year's a new year, and we didn't have a very good year last year, and the guys have really, to their credit, have really bounced back.
Mm-hmm. And then finally, I know we sort of talked about earlier in the season that some guys weren't eligible. Do you expect any of them to come back soon, or?
Well,
there
it's a
anything
good
on
question. You're still ineligible, until something happens, until the quarter ends, and then, potentially, the next round, potentially. There might be some hope there. So that's all I can really say right now.
that? Thank you.
My pleasure.
Any more questions for Coach? All right, we'll wrap up there.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.